Greetings, heroes. Coach Rick here. I'm so excited for our book club selection of the month, The Gratitude Diaries by Janice Kaplan. Amazing woman, had a big career in media, print media, and then became an author. And man, this book was inspiring. I'm so excited to share it with you. So let's jump in. I think the most important takeaway that I got from this book is that gratitude is a muscle. So just like lifting weights or whatever in the gym, you're not going to get good at it unless you practice it. So here's a quote from the book, and it should sound pretty familiar to you if you've done any coaching with me. Whatever the brain does a lot, it gets good at. If through gratitude you create a positive mood, you reinforce the brain pathways that will generate more positive feelings. You can think of gratitude as a form of mental exercise that primes the mind for positivity. And if you've done any coaching with me, you'll hear me talk about that all the time, about rewiring your prefrontal cortex and recreating those pathways in your brain. So everywhere we run into it, it's true. Habituation, this is sort of the other side of the coin. We get used to something, whether a husband, a house, or a shiny new car, and then we forget why it seemed so special in the first place. This is why something like retail therapy does not work. It's why you might have a friend or an acquaintance who they're always in love. There's always a new person, but they can't stick with a relationship because they're looking for that giant rush of feelings. And the problem is that's not permanent. It's not going to stick around. So it's very crucial that you're aware that this habituation happens and that you work actively to counteract it through very purposeful and focused gratitude. So the book is divided into 4 seasons. The first season, which we're going to go over today, is winter. That's when Janet focused on marriage, love, and family. One of the statistics she used in here just blew me away. I knew this was true, but the scale of it was really surprising. In a survey that she cited, 97% of people say they would thank a server, but only 48% of people thank their spouse. And this is something I've talked about a lot too, and it hits close to home for me. We are all, including me, kinder to strangers than we are to our closest loved ones. And this really became clear to me last weekend. We went up on a tram ride with our kids, and we were in this enclosed gondola, and my daughter Reagan kept coughing right onto a guy. We were really close together. She kept coughing onto a guy in front of us, and I could tell he was getting really pissed off. You could tell by his facial expressions. He was making comments to the person he was with. So as soon as we got off the gondola, I went up to him and I apologized. First thing out of his mouth was, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. I get it, kids." And he walked off and he was fine. And I'm thinking, how many times has something even smaller happened between, say, me and my wife, and we've just gone off on each other? So just really think about that in your own life with your kids, your parents, your closest friends, your partner. Do you give more courtesy to the stranger in line at Starbucks than you do to your spouse? And I guarantee you do at certain places. Hero habit, we do things every damn day. One of the things I coach people about on the relationship part of their whole goals is saying thank you. If you are not actively looking for things to thank your spouse about, give gratitude to your spouse about every single day, you're doing it wrong, and it should be multiple times a day. I know Jarvis goes out of his way to text Jane every day, usually multiple times a day, just to reaffirm her. And I do that with my wife, either through text or at home. And trust me, you cannot do this enough. I have never met anyone who has said, "You are too grateful, you're too appreciative of me." Janet in the book gives a framework if you're not used to this, and you can use these 2 sentences. One thing you did lately, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, son, daughter, that I appreciated was X. And it can be something really little. You did the laundry. You drive at night. And I don't like to drive at night. Look for things that you just take for granted. And another really good one. One moment when I felt extra positive about you was blank. Now, to go back to one of our previous books, How to Win Friends and Influence People, this is actually a very subtle form of manipulation because, of course, the things that you compliment, you're going to get more of. That person's going to feel good when you say, oh my gosh, you make the best dinners. Well, now that person is going to want to cook for you more because you made them feel good. So you're going to get more of the stuff you like. It's a win-win. So I really hope you'll embrace these. We're going to keep working through this book for the next couple weeks, and I'll give you some more tips that I pulled out of the book. But I want you to take some time in discussion now and think about your gratitude habits. Do you have a really strong gratitude muscle? Are you, fit? Are you gratitude fit? Do you have a bulking gratitude body? Or are you gratitude flabby? And really, this one should convict you. How do you treat those people closest to you? Your partner, your close friend, your kids? Are you kinder to strangers? Take a moment to journal your key takeaways, and then if you're in one of our mastermind groups, let's discuss. If you're seeing this online, please leave some comments below. We sure appreciate it. Thanks. This has been Coach Rick, and if you want any more info, please go to themorninghero.com.